I've got my data. I'm going to throw them into a list. I'm going to start with the first value, 7.25. Julian? Thank you. No. 7.5. 7.5. God, D, 3 of them. 7.5. What's the next list? 7.25. Looks like there's 2 of them. Another 7.5. 0.5. 6.25. 6.75. 5.75. So this is the tedious part right here, but you guys have to see it. 5.5. 8.75. 6.5, 6.75, and 6.75. Hallelujah, I'm done. Okay, so that's the biggest task right there that you have to do is to punch that data in. However, that's worth my time over having to do it by hand and having to stack them, put them in order and all that good stuff. You guys know that piece is annoying all by itself. So what I need to do first is I need to do a chart, and I need to also describe distribution. I'm going to start with the chart. Now, make a note of this. To get to the charts, you're going to go second and hit this y equals button. See how the feature is stat plot? That's what I want to do. So go second, stat plot. It should look like this. Now I'm going to go ahead and go on the first one. I notice it's blinking. That's telling me what feature. Right now the off feature is on. I want to turn that feature on. So it's blinking on now. And then I'm going to select the type of chart that I want. In this case, I'm going to try to see if try to draw the histogram there. You guys ever see that? So I got the histogram. Where's my data? Let's see, I didn't hit enter, did I? I want the histogram. Press enter. My list is in L1. We're going to use blue, that's fine. And then I'm going to go ahead and graph this. So I'm going to go graph. And it looks like that. It's kind of weird, huh? You're already super lost?
Yeah, I got to like the list after the list was lost.
So when I went here.
You said second stat.
Right, so it takes you here.
Oh, okay. So I was looking for that y equals. I was looking down here. I didn't even look up there.
Yeah, it's the one at the very top.
Okay, I see.
Okay, so in there, I'm just going to go into the first plot. I'll make sure I turn it on.
Okay.
Make sure I select my histogram. Tell it where the data is, that list of data. And then I just have to hit graph. Now, I want to show you a couple things. See how you have these 2 lines there? That means that you've got some lines in the y equals feature by itself. Understand this has 2 graphing features, one for data and the other if you punch in equations. So what I want to do is just clear those out because I don't want to look at them. Okay, so that's done. So I'm going to go back to the graph. Still doesn't look like what I want it to. Okay? We're working with statistics, so we're going to do a zoom stat. You guys look in the middle here. There's a zoom button. And option number 9 says statistics. So I press 9, and there's my bar graph. So now I can sketch that. I can just freehand it right on my paper. And there's my sketch. How would you describe this distribution? Okay. Now we could kind of do an exploratory data analysis, an EDA, just by using words and stuff. But there's my chart. What I want to do is to get some real concrete numbers. You guys remember how we describe a distribution? I told you guys to remember an acronym. Starts with a C. Cuss, right? So what I want to do is I want to cuss. That means that I want to find a center. So for starters, I need to decide, looking at this graph, am I going to use a mean with standard deviation, or am I going to use a median and the IQR?
The IQR one.
You're going to use the IQR one? Sounds good. Okay. So there's my chart. I want to find the center. If I'm using the IQR one, then that means that my measure of center is going to be the median, correct? Okay. Now, how do I find my median? I'm going to use that calculator to help me out. Okay. I'm going to go back to the data. Actually, I'm going to go stat. And you see these 2 values here, the sort A, sort D. Sort A is to sort ascending. and the other one's to sort descending. I'm going to hit sort ascending on number 2. And I'm going to say I want you to sort ascending list 1. Press enter there, and it says done. So now when I go to the data, stat edit, they're in order from the smallest all the way to the biggest. Okay? I don't have to worry about, I don't have to do it by hand. That's a time saver, isn't it? Okay? So let's find out how many data we have on here. I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom. I could have also pushed up. I don't know why I didn't do that. Okay, so here's the last one. How many data do I have? 16. So that means that the median is going to be between 2 numbers, isn't it? Which 2 numbers are those? 8 and 9. So I need to kind of scroll back up. So between 7 and 7.25. So let's find that average. 7 plus 7.25. Excuse me. Hit enter, and then I'm going to divide by 2. And there it is, 7.125. So now I've got my median. Okay, this is just, it's meant to get easier with the calculator. That's why we love the calculator. So center, what am I going to call it?
The median.
7.25? 125. Now that's even more work than it had to be. Mr. Muir, why would you make me do that? Because I just want to emphasize the what you're supposed to be doing there. What up, Ms. B?
Hey, do you have a screwdriver?
Yeah. In that yellow box, there should be one in there. Okay. Let me show you guys an easier way of getting all your numbers that you need. Second, stat plot. So I'm going back there. Okay. Now, instead of using that histogram, instead of using this histogram, I'm going to use this one here. Do you guys see that? The little box plot? I'm going to switch over to the box plot. Press enter. And then I'm going to go zoom 9 again. And there's my box plot. So if you want, if you're, the chart you're choosing is not going to be the histogram, it's going to be a box plot. There it is. And what's really cool about this one, probably going to hate you for doing it the first time, even the easy way.
Okay.
If you hit this trace feature, do you guys see that trace button? Everybody locate on your calculator? Hit that trace. It jumps right to the median. 7.125. If you push to the left, it's going to give you quartile 1. Push to the left again, it's going to give you the minimum. Okay, you see how it's jumping back and forth to those important points? It's giving you your 5-number summary. There's quartile 3, and there's the max. So there's your 5-number summary, just like that.
We knew about that the homework for like the last week. Would have been easy.
I know, but then would you learn how to do the math behind it?
No.
Okay, so the tools are great, right? Did I tell you guys my mechanic story? I always wanted to help my dad. I think guys want to do that when your dad's doing like working on the cars. Like, oh, I want to be macho and be on there. And like, I didn't know how to use the freaking tools. And he always used to make me go get the llave de tontos. You guys ever heard of that one?
Yeah.
La llave de tontos. It was the crescent wrench. Because whenever he told me, hey, go get me a 5 or a 13 millimeter wrench, I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. So he would just have me get the one that was universal. Because I didn't know how to use the tools. So if you don't know how to use the tools here, then you're just going to be acting a fool. You're not going to know what you're talking about. Okay. So anyways, 5-number summary is right there. So we have that, which means I can get my. Let me go back to my little list. So my center's there. Take a look at this box here. This where did it go? Here we go. Are there any unique features here?
Like outline.
What shape would you say that this is?
Square, rectangle.
Looking at it, it's actually approximately normal, isn't it? Okay, why? All the boxes are about the same length, aren't they?
I see.
So it's approximately normal. One thing that the histogram didn't tell us. Okay, what was the other thing we're supposed to do? So, are there any unique features? Black, you need to stop. Did you like it?
No.
Did you use your words?
Yeah.
I didn't hear you.
Yeah.
Unique features? Are there unique features to this graph? Not really. Then we could, what are the S's for? Shape. Let's start with the shape. If you take a look at that box plot, I said it looks approximately normal. Okay, it's not skewed because none of the whiskers are longer than the other, correct? And then finally, for spread. If you're using the median, which spread are you going to use? Which measure of spread? It's 3 letters. We call it the IQR. Okay? So if we're using the IQR, then we can just come back to our calculator and figure out what is 7.5 minus 6.625. And that would be it. Nice and loud? Unique features. Are there unique features? That's when you talk about your outliers and stuff like that. Now, let me go back to zoom to the stat plot. I want you to notice that there's 2 of them there. Okay, there's this one, and then there's this one. What? You didn't know it was a Jedi?
No, I turned around and then you had a lightsaber.
You didn't know it was a Jedi?
I didn't see you pull it out.
Because I'm a Jedi.
Yeah.
Anyways, you guys see there's 2 features here, right? This is a box plot, that's a box plot. Except the one we have selected right now is just gonna give you all the data in the box plot. This one's gonna give you what's called a modified box plot. So it's gonna calculate outliers for you. So let me go ahead and select this feature. Gotta go over here. So if I select that one and then go back to my stat graph, there's no points on the outsides on either side, which means that there are no outliers in this data. So there's obviously no unique features. That looks pretty normal. Shape, spread, we got those done.
Well, and there are points outside of the legs.
Then you would just say, for the unique features part, you would say there's blah blah point seems to be an outlier because it's outside of the IQR. All right, or 1.5 times IQR. Cool. Questions on this? Any of it? No? Some people wake up, had a big lunch. Lunch made me sleepy too, especially when you have turkey. So, you guys are good here? Anything I need to cover again? All right. You're poisoned. You guys have 8 problems. I would love for you to have them done before you go.